As far as depression goes, all right, my dad committed suicide when I was 7. I've had a great life, but the worst thing that was 11 years ago, my youngest son got hit by a truck and was killed. That wrecked me. That just sent me, into a place I never, ever, and that long ago, thankfully, somebody came to me, Clint, you have 4 more kids that need you. I never suicidal, none of that stuff. I love life too much. It's really rocky, really like tough, and I was pissed off a lot, like the whole why me sort of a thing. I mean, again, not all the time, it's not like I was walking around just mad all the time, but just definitely not the way it should be, not the way a person should be. Should be way happier. And, and I already knew, I deal with clinical depression, and I used to be a cop too. So I saw some pretty bad stuff too. I was struggling with like everything. I mean, it was hard, like different health issues with my neck. When I was a cop, I got hurt, had surgeries, dealing with chronic pain and all that stuff, which I still have. I mean, Joyous didn't take that part away, but it's helping me have a more positive outlook on life. I mean, a way more positive outlook. Because before it was like everything was, not literally black and white or gray and dismal all the time, but now everything's it's prettier now. It's more, again, the clarity, the colors are more vibrant. Everything's coming back. I'm not saying from having a buzz, that type of a thing. I'm saying in general, across the board, day to day. I used to wake up pissed off. Who should wake up? There's nothing to be mad about the second you wake up. And that was me every day waking up. And I'm like, what the hell's going on? And I don't wake up. I wake up feeling good. Don't talk to me until I have my coffee or anything. But besides that, then I'm good to go. Like I said, every day's not peachy. It's never going to be. Again, that's life. But Joyous has given me, I can't find the right word. Besides tremendous help, it's almost helped me definitely live a better life no matter how you cut it. Have a happier, more fulfilling, enjoyable life. I've been on God knows how many different SSRIs over the last 15 years or whatever. Before my son passed away, I was already, since my dad, I don't know, I know I'd had depression. Just before I was even diagnosed with it, clinical depression or whatever. I don't take anything anymore because I've been on, Prozac was my last one, but I've been on probably 5 or 6 different ones throughout the years. I've been taking Prozac, well, the fluoxetine or however you pronounce it. I've been taking that in probably within, I'm guesstimating, I'm bad with dates and stuff. It wasn't long after starting with Joyous. And I haven't missed it, don't want it. I'm not going to take it again. So that part, I forgot about that part because I've been taking it so long. It was like, I forgot about it. So yeah, that's totally got me off of that. That was definitely a plus. After being, not hooked on them, but taking these and like I said, it's probably 5 or 6 different ones throughout the last 15 or so years. And now I don't take any. It's not the magic pill or the magic bullet or whatever they call it. You got to put in your own work. I mean, at least I do. I know that 100%. It's just not, boom, I take a troche or, I cut them in quarters anyway. I don't take a whole one at a time. You got to do your own shit. Like, I never in my life had ever journaled before, but now I do. I look back when I started with y'all. I read it. I just looked at it the other day. I went back. My very first one I wrote, my first journal, some dumb shit I wrote. My first journal ever or whatever. You can tell in my writing I'm pissed off. I wrote, but I was just writing how I feel right then, negative, all this stuff. And you can even tell I must have been writing hard too. And I remember doing it, but I didn't realize as I'm reading, I'm like, God dang, I was, and there's still some of that, I still have work. I'm a work in progress until I'm, not here anymore forever, as long as I live. It's kind of not scary, but it's creepy reading. I'm like, God damn, I seem like an asshole reading this, but it was me. It was what I was feeling right then. And in those days or weeks. And now I look at it, I'm more current, stuff I've written, way more mellow, way more positive, so not all fairy tales and butterflies and rainbows and all that shit. But I can remember how I felt then. And I can sometimes feel myself go into that, just getting into a funk, which we all get into funks. I'm able to pull myself out of that funk where it would have maybe taken, I don't know, a week, let's say, before. Now I can do it, say, a couple hours, or it might even take a day. I just might have a shitty day, but I come out of it way quicker and start looking at stuff. Like I said, I have to put my own work into it. I got to think positive and not negative, and try not to use negative words, and try to have what do you call it? Like positive self-talk. I know that's not the right phrase. Talk to myself, not talk down to myself. Not go, Clint, you suck. Clint, you're or whatever. Even though, I will still do that, but I'm like, but I'll catch myself now. I'm like, stop doing that shit. That's your old behavior before. You're working on the new self, a new Clint. Even though I'm 54 years old, it's never too late. And I'm so much more happier. They've noticed a more positive side of me. And they can see in me the good part. They love me good or bad or whatever, but, they could see I was more positive way more of the time than just occasionally. And in a better mood and better spirits. And my mom lives with me, which I'm surprised I'm not totally insane because of that. She's 80 years old and she drives me nuts. But she's even noticed, but it's my kids that really matter to me, obviously. And, they've said it throughout the last, whatever amount of months it's been. They could see, and they don't even know I'm doing it. They don't even know I'm doing it. Doing this for myself and nobody knows I write a journal or any of that, that's just for me. They know I've been through counseling. They know all about my mental health. I just haven't told them this part. And I really didn't feel like I was being any different around them, but apparently I was. So it was cool. It was like, shit, yeah, that's cool. I could feel it, but them reaffirming it without not even knowing I'm doing anything, that made it even all that much the better. Actually, just after Matthew Perry passed is when I started. And so many people, they're so ignorant now because I do research on everything. He was abusing it. When you look at toxicology, the whole 9 yards, it wasn't just because he would, like doing like I take, the troches or, Joyous patients. He was getting IV shit. Then he was having, I think 3 of his doctors were arrested. It's a whole different thing. Matthew Perry gave ketamine like a bad name, it seems like, right at that time. But no, I had no apprehension because I had done so much research. And I'm like, I'm going to give it a shot. I'm going to try this out. And I'm so glad I did. I wasn't apprehensive especially once I did my research and doing all that stuff. And I was reading about the whole Matthew Perry thing. And then, more shit came out, the circumstances with him. That was a whole different deal. 100%. That's, it was ketamine, but it's not, he wasn't doing it the way you're supposed to do it. You don't do IV treatment, then you're taking whatever happened, with him. It's sad no matter what. But no, I was excited because I wanted to start this positive journey, or what at the time I was hoping would be a positive one, which turned out to be, which still is. I would definitely 100% tell them, give it a shot. Without a doubt, because especially, which I need to utilize more, y'all's portal with all that information there. I've been really bad about not utilizing that because I'll forget about it. I go on there and I'm usually looking at stuff people might have posted or whatever, and I forget about all this other stuff y'all have on there. But there's so much information that they can get. I can tell them my own story and they could take it from that, but they can also go to y'all and they can do their own research. But I can tell them my story and say, hey, listen, I can't promise, whoever it'll work for you, but pretty much the way I'm telling you my story or whatever, even though I'm telling it all messed up, but that it definitely has worked for me. It got me out of the bad place I was, you know what I'm saying? And it's an ongoing journey. It's always going to be like it's a lifelong, it's life. But I would 100% recommend it. 110% recommend it, without a doubt. Without a doubt. You got literally nothing to lose. $129. I mean, your mental health is priceless. I mean, I get being broke and not having, I get that. That's why, thankfully, with y'all had that finance or that help in the finance, which thank God. But, instead of buying that $8 flipping Starbucks coffee or whatever bullshit, try it, get with y'all, talk to y'all, the professionals, go from there and try it for a month or however y'all do it. But I totally recommend it. Totally. There's hope. You just never give up. You got to keep every day, get up. It might suck every day for a month or whatever amount of time it is, but it does get better. I mean, it really does. And again, it's life. It's not always going to be great every day, but I think now, for me anyway, the good days definitely outweigh the bad, like by far, big time. Yeah, I'm really so grateful